You know what it is? Joker News here. Hit that like and subscribe. Let's jump right back into it. Suge Knight has been talking negatively about a lot of his peers and former associates of late, but there are still a few he deeply admires. On a new episode of The Collect Call with Suge Knight that aired on Saturday on December 2nd, Dave Mays breaks down the Compton native, and he took a moment to recognize two hip hop veterans he believes has always stayed true to Tupac. I want to say this about Pac. I want to say this about Tretch. I want to say this about Scarface, he began. These three young men, as artists and men, have a bond that we need to teach and people need to use their model. He continued, Tretch and Tupac was road dogs. Still today, you can count on Tretch to represent Pac. You can count on Tretch to live with Pac, far as he still represent that man. Now, same thing with Scarface. Face is gonna, with Pac no matter what. That's why I was joyful when we did that song with Face and Pac. And you contrarily, Suge has always called out people for faking their love for the late rapper since his tragic passing. To that end, he recently demanded answers from Snoop Dogg over Pac's 1996 murder, saying the Long Beach MC has some explaining to do. Now, in an explosive segment from a late November episode of his podcast, the incarcerated gangster rap mogul who was in the car with Pac the night he was shot in Las Vegas questioned the Dogfather's role in the unsolved case. Now, when asked about Diddy's alleged involvement in the ordeal, Knight turned his attention to Snoop and said he wants a face-to-face talk with his ex-signee who now owns Death Row Records. As far as the Puffy situation, I really got to have a real conversation with Snoop, he said. I knew that Pac did everything right by him, putting him on the All Eyes on Me, speaking about him, and being real with him. And if it's true what they say face-to-face, it's going to be a lot of explaining to do. Knight claims that Snoop told the Dog Pound rapper Daz Dillinger not to go to Vegas with the rest of his crew the night of September 7, 1996, as something's going to happen. And right there, that's some interesting news right there, what Suge is trying to say. But, another thing that he's also trying to say is just like that, 5 episodes deep into Suge Knight's new controversial podcast on the Collect Calls, the new episode titled California Love discusses Tupac's 1995 hit song as well as the people behind the scenes. Now, Knight identifies who was and was not loyal to the now deceased artist. Now, as his first topic discussed with co-host Dave Mays, Knight got straight to business when opening up about California Love, which included feature appearances from Dr. Dre and Roger Troutman. Now, Knight said that he did not earn the credit he deserved for orchestrating the song. If you've seen California Love on a commercial or playing a football game, that's just like diamond money, blood money. At the end of the day, he said, when they went to Africa and killed those Africans for those diamonds, what's the difference? I did all the work, and my writers wrote all the songs. And I'm the one who put Roger Troutman on that song and paid this guy $200,000 to make it happen. Now, expanding on this, Knight noted that the song was mostly written by a Death Row Records affiliate named J Flex, and that he gave the song to Tupac instead of Dr. Dre because Dre hardly ever put out studio albums. Additionally, Knight alluded to the idea that Dre and Snoop Dogg were never even that fond of Pac in the first place, and that Snoop may have played a part in Pac's death. He first introduced this as a possibility in Collect Call, episode 4, but used it to support his argument. Here, that the men still performing California Love have no loyalty to Pac. You think the people are supposed to benefit off of Tupac that had something to do with his killing, or who didn't like him? What type of crap is that? He asked rhetorically. But most of the people performing at the Super Bowl, at least we know 2 of them, hated Pac. And at the same time, since I wouldn't sell my company, since they couldn't take my company, they did fraud to beat my company, is what he says. Now, he says who was loyal to Tupac. On the flip side, later in the episode, Knight brought up a few folks who he swore were real friends of Tupac, mainly noting Tretch, the frontman of Naughty by Nature, and a close friend and collaborator of Pac's, and Scarface. Another rapper friend of Pac's, Knight said, these two would never betray their late great pal. And I want to say this about Pac. I want to say this about Tretch. I want to say this about Scarface. As I was saying earlier, these 3 young men, as artists and men, have a bond that we need to teach, and people need to use their model. He said, Tretch and Tupac was road dogs. Still today, you can count on Tretch to represent Pac. You can count on Tretch to live with Pac. As far as he still represents that man, same thing with Scarface. Face is going to with Pac no matter what. And that's why I was joyful when we did that song with Face and Pac. Smile. These two love Pac and they ride for Pac. They're not doing it on no fake. They're doing it because they were too real. And that's right there. Some things that Suge Knight's even talking about and trying to say right there. But like also another thing that he's talking about is saying that DMC was in the car with Tupac the night that he was shot in a drive-by shooting in Las Vegas on September 7, 1996, following the Bruce Seldon vs. Mike Tyson fight, dying from his wounds 6 days later. Now, during an appearance on Drink Champs, Daryl DMC McDaniels revealed his legendary group were supposed to ride with Tupac to fight at the MGM Grand. I remember the night Pac died. We was hired by 662 to perform at the after party for the Tyson fight. This was when the Luxor was new. It was, still fly and brand new, so I'll never forget. Now, Suge Knight brought us there, paid for everything, and we was hired for the entertainment. It's coming from his own words. So we get a call, it's Suge. This is funny. Jam Master, Jay Story, Yo Me, and Pac coming to get y'all. You're going to ride to the fight with us? Because remember who was in the BMW 750IL with them? Nobody was in the back seat. And so me, Run, and Jay was supposed to be in that backseat. He calls him up and says, yo, I'm coming to get you all. We want you all to ride to the fight with us. And DMC went on to reveal that Jam Master Jay taking so long to get ready was the reason why they didn't end up hitching a ride with Tupac. And now Eric, my manager, says, y'all go ahead without us. He said, why is that? That's the problem. Jay's getting dressed, huh? What you talking about? When Jay would get dressed, Jay would have all his clothes out there. It's worse than your wife or girl getting something, getting dressed. And the reason why we ain't ride to the fight with Pac is because Jay was getting dressed. Jay would spend hours. It would be a fashion show. Jay's getting dressed. We say, well, meet you all at the after party. We get to the after party. Hammer's there. The whole crew. Everybody's there. Mailman. Everybody's there. It continues. So we in the club waiting for the fight to end. All of a sudden, one dude comes in. It's about 100 people in there. They all leave, empty cup, music off. A guy comes in with a briefcase, and it's me, Run and Jay. Everybody leaves. Guys come with a briefcase, puts the briefcase on the table, opens it up, all the cash, 200,000 cash there. Y'all getting paid tonight, just no show, go home. We didn't know what was going on. So next morning, I had an afternoon flight, and I'm in the gym on the treadmill, and then CNN last night in Vegas, Tupac got shot. Like, oh, shit, that's why that happened. And after 27 years without making a single arrest, Las Vegas police charged Dwayne Keefe D. Davis in September with the murder of Tupac. Now, the former Southside Compton Crip is accused of orchestrating the deadly drive-by shooting as payback against Tupac and Suge Knight, who, along with their entourage, attacked Davis's nephew and fellow gang member Orlando Anderson earlier that night. And, Davis, who is now 60, has pleaded not guilty to the charges and is set to stand trial next June. And so this is all just some recent news of what's going on in the hip-hop game. But hit that like and subscribe. Let me know where you're all from.